welcome to my cooking class. And today we're going to make homemade tomato soup and noodles with some grilled cheese. And so what you're going to want to gather is a pot and fill it about a medium-sized pot and fill it about halfway to water. So I have it filled about right there. And then get that started to heat up. And then you're going to want a small pan for your tomato soup. And to go with your tomato soup, you're going to want tomato sauce, basil, garlic, chives if you want. It's just kind of add a little extra flavor, and I like that. And then that's going to be for tomato soup. And then a noodle of your choice. I have the little round noodles, or not round, but like half round noodles. And then for your grilled cheese, you're going to have some plates and 2 pieces of bread per person. I'm serving some bread for me and my sister, so I got 4 pieces, so 2 pieces per person. A knife so you can butter your bread, and then a butter of your choice, which I have. Oops. Butter of your choice. And so we're going to want to turn the water on to about medium or low, depending on how fast you're going to want that to heat up. And then open the can with your can opener, which you're also going to want to grab. And once you dump the can of soup into your bowl, you're going to want to keep that can. Dump it in. And then you're going to want to fill the can to about the same height as the soup was with water. And then you're going to want to dump that water in your bowl as well. And then we're also going to want to grab some ingredients. So keep that can. And then grab out your milk, whatever you'd like to use. So if you're lactose milk will work as well. And you're going to want to fill the can to about half of milk. And once you've done that, you're going to want to dump it in. And then you're done with your can, so you can get rid of that. And you're going to want to turn it on to a low or medium temperature, depending on as well how fast you want to cook. And then you're going to want to grab a spoon to kind of stir it all together. And then as you're doing that, you're going to want to put some basil in there. Just a few shakes. 4 or 5 will work. And then you're going to also want to grab your garlic. Do a few shakes of that, 2 or 3. And then you're going to grab your chives if you have chosen to do those. Put some of those in there as well. And depending on what you have, you're going to have to might shake more, but it's going to be about the same as you have your basil. Kind of stir those together. And then we're going to add some salt and pepper. Do a few shakes of that. And take your pepper as well. And put a little bit of that in there too. And then you're going to want to stir all those ingredients together. And kind of let it cook. And then next, we are going to want to start on working with our grilled cheese and setting those up. If you have a little thing, I recommend putting your spoon in it just to make sure it turns out okay. And then you're going to want to take your butter, open that up, and butter one side of every piece of bread that you have. So you take your piece of bread and just lightly put butter. With your pan, don't worry to put on spray. This is what the butter's for. It keeps it from sticking and works really well. You're just going to want to butter every single piece of butter, or bread, wow. And just a light layer will do. Doesn't have to be super thick. And then make sure to watch on your stuff. Stir your soup a little bit because milk will burn, and you do not want that because burnt food never tastes good. And then you want to put once you've buttered 2 pieces of bread, put the buttered sides together, and that's pretty much one sandwich. And then you do the same with the other sandwiches. Also, cutting the bread in half will do. And any type of butter will work for your grilled cheese. So, whatever you choose shall do. Okay. Okay, so once you've done that, you want to go back and stir your soup a little bit. And wait till it kind of warms up. And then next you want to start on cutting your cheese, which isn't going to quite work over here. But any kind of cheese you choose, I am going to use the cheddar cheese that we usually use, and I'm going to have my mom cut that so I can watch the stuff. Okay, and then you can start putting some things away. I wouldn't quite put your spices away that you use, so the basil, the garlic, the chives, that kind of stuff. I wouldn't recommend putting that stuff away because you might need it to re-flavor your tomato soup, or to add more flavor depending on how you like it. And then keep in mind that your noodles are going to take away some of the flavor. So if it's like a little too spicy, that's fine. You're going to live through it. Your noodles are going to absorb that flavor for you. Okay. And then your cheese, when you cut it, it doesn't have to be super thick. Thin cheese works just fine.
However you like it.
However you choose. I mean, you can have it thick if you really wanted to. You can have it as thin as you want. Just the thinner it is, the less of a flavor you want. And then you're going to want to put on your bread how you like. So I have these 2 pieces of bread, and the cheese is laid nicely on there. No, go away, Mom. But you're going to have the cheese set nicely on your bread how you would like. And once your water starts to boil, we will then start to cook our grilled cheese. Other than that, we're going to put the things that we don't need anymore away. So your can that I just pretty much set down, you throw that away. Throw everything away. And if you would like your water to boil faster, you can put some water in there if you shall choose. And then you're going to want for your grilled cheese, you're going to want a flat pan like I have here. They work the best. Or just a pan that you can flip your bread on and do all the things I pretty much do. And then you're going to want to get a spoon ready to stir your noodles with. That way they don't stick to the bottom and you're not stuck with issues once again, because that would not be good. So now we're just going to wait for everything to set up, and I'll be back when that happens. Okay, back again, and the water's boiling. Our soup is going. What you want to do is take your noodles. That's about 2-3 cups, and dump them in. And then make sure you turn your temperature down just a little bit, so kind of in the medium range, but like down some. That way your noodles don't bubble over, and then you have burning water on your stovetop, because that's never good. And what we're going to want to do is have our pan heat up. It's just above low. And then you're going to want to have your pan start to kind of heat up. And then if your noodles, constantly stir them. Make sure everything stays stirred. That way nothing burns the bottom. Your noodles, you're going to want to have the spoon fall at the bottom to pick up those noodles, or they will burn as well. And you never want your noodles to burn. And then if you want to make sure your soup tastes well, then you're going to want to try it with a spoon. It's okay if it's a little over flavored. Like I said, the noodles will bring that down. So if it is warm, bring it over and just blow on it, cool it down. Try it. And see if you like it or not. I think I'm going to add a little bit more chives and basil into it, but you do whatever you choose. This is your soup, whatever you like for flavor. Some more basil. That might have been a little much, but it'll be okay. And stir those in as well. And you want to constantly come back to that. Check if it's warm, then you can turn the temperature down to kind of a low, so it just stays warm but doesn't overheat or cook too much. And then you stir it less often as it gets cooler and cooler. Come back to your noodles, stir them some, make sure there are none sticking. Just kind of go around the pan with your spoon, whatever you're using to stir. And then we're going to want to check the pan. With my pan, I can put 2 at a time on. So what we're going to do is you're going to take your piece of bread, put it on, then put the other bread on top. Butter side should be touching the pan, and then the other side should be facing up. That way the butter sides, when you flip, they make contact with the pan and you don't have a sticky mess on your pan, which is never good. And then you can take your bowl or whatever you use to measure out your noodles, and you can put that away and wash it or whatever. And then you're going to want to grab a spatula for your noodles, and then go back to your soup, stir it. And you can probably turn the heat off if it's steaming. And then check on your noodles. Make sure none are sticking. And then a good sign to see if your grilled cheese is done is right at the edge of the bottom is what I usually look for, is when it starts turning a little brown, which it's not doing yet. But when it starts doing that, you want to kind of lift up the bottom a little bit, check to see, is that my type of brown or whatever color you like? Maybe lightly cooked, or just whatever you like, how melty your cheese, how brown you want your bread. Some people like it more of a dark kind of burnt color, other people like it a lighter color, and people can like it in between. It's whatever you choose. This is your sandwich. You do what you like. best. I like kind of like a medium, kind of darker brown color in my stuff. And if anything, if you're getting worried about your bread, you can always lift it up and check. And then, if you add more flavors, test out your soup. Delicious. I love tomato soup and noodles. It's one of my favorite meals. I'm happy that I know how to make it. So you want to check on your noodles. Depending on what noodles you have, you might want to try them. I'm going to try mine to take an estimate on how much longer they're going to have to go for. I'm struggling.
I'm struggling to say.
Okay. They still need to go for a while. I'm so fun for it. Cook them how you would like. Don't let anybody else hit on your noodles and how you like them. And it looks like our grilled cheese are starting to brown up. We're going to kind of lift it up and take a look. And we're going to flip, and try not to get it on top of one another's grilled cheese. Flip, reposition. If you have one grilled cheese and you put it in the center of the pan, it's going to cook longer because that's where the main heat is going from. So, depending on where your grilled cheese is, it might take faster than mine or slower, depending on where it is on the pan. Once you're done with your ingredients, you can then stick them back. Oops, I hit the camera. Stick them back up where they go or wherever you have them. And flip as needed. You can flip as many times as you want. There's unlimited flips you have. As long as you get the consistency of brown you would like. And it's okay if you get some cheese in the pan. It should come off. If you're worried about that not happening, you can spray it if you really want to. I think we're gonna try another noodle here. I don't think they're quite done, but they're at least close. This time we're gonna put it on the plate and try eating it off the spoon. Tastes almost done. There we go. And our grilled cheeses should be done anytime soon. So make sure you do have your plates set out for your grilled cheese. I personally like mine cut in half. You can cut yours in half if you want. It's up to you. Once again, over here, just two things. Wow, stir the noodles. Kind of stir our grilled cheese. Or not grilled cheese. Wow, our soup. Tomato soup. Okay. Our grilled cheese is probably done. And yes, they are. They seem to be. So you're going to grab them, put them on your plate. I'm going to cut mine in half. You can cut them straight down the center or around the side. If anything, you can let them sit for a little bit so they cool down. stove where it's not cooking. That way nothing burns. Okay, noodles are looking about done. So you're going to want to try them. Yeah, they taste about done to me. So we're going to turn off the heat. And you're going to want to drain the excess water in your sink, which is what I'm going to do with a little lid to help the noodles from falling out. And then once you have your noodles drained, you can put those on the table. Turn off the heat for your soup. And you can put those at the table as well. That's pretty much it. You can put your noodles in with your soup, but my suggestion is to keep them separate, because at that point, then your noodles don't become soggy, and I just prefer it that way. And that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoy what you've made in your soup and grilled cheese and what we've made here. Bye!